this video, I thought I would go through the difference between an arithmetic progression and a geometric progression, or an arithmetic sequence and a geometric sequence. We used to always refer to these as APs and GPs. The syllabus has changed a little bit now. We now refer to them as arithmetic sequences and geometric sequences, but I like to shorten it down to APs and GPs. Now, when we see a sequence of numbers, sometimes we're asked to find out if it is an arithmetic or a geometric sequence. Now, the best way to look at that is look what is happening as you go from number to number. So in this case, we have 1, then 3, then 5, then 7. So I can see that it is adding 2 each time. That tells me it's going to be an arithmetic progression or arithmetic sequence because the same number is added each time. We could also do that where there is the same number subtracted each time. So say we had 6 and then 4, 2, 0, -2. So we are going down each time. So if we are adding or subtracting the same amount each time, then we call it an arithmetic sequence. In the next one here, we've got 3, 6, 12, 24. So we are multiplying by 2 each time. That means it's a geometric sequence or a geometric progression as it's being multiplied by the same factor each time. The general rule is different for an arithmetic and a geometric sequence. So our general rule for an arithmetic is our T of n is equal to A plus n minus 1 in brackets multiplied by D. So that's our key thing here. We have a common difference. So for our arithmetic sequences, we've got that common difference. For our geometric sequences, we call it a common ratio. So whatever we're multiplying by. So that R is for common ratio. The other thing that you'll see done with the arithmetic sequences and geometric sequences is where it's written in terms of a recurrence relation or a recursive relation, it might be referred to. So that's where you're writing a rule just based on what is happening to a term to get to the next one. So often the notation used is T of n plus 1. So that means the next term. So you might say in this original one, to get to the next term, you are adding 2. For this one over here, you might say to get to the next term, you are subtracting 2 from that. You may also see it instead of T of n plus 1, they might write Tn, and then they'll put n minus 1 here. That's just saying the term before. So that's another way of writing that. When we look at our geometric ones, we're then talking about our ratio. We're multiplying by something. So instead of having a plus or a minus, if we're doing the recursive method, we would have T of n plus 1 is equal to our T of n multiplied by an R value, or they might use a different letter there. So in our case, we've got our multiplied by 2. So it can be written like that, or you might see it where the number is in front. And again, another way of writing that is to write the n and then 2 times the T of n minus 1. So it's just meaning the one before and the one after, the way you're referring to it. You're looking for successive terms. And that's how we describe it. Some questions you can then go on to finding a general term, which is using one of the rules up here, and finding different values. You might find the 10th term, or you might find when a sequence gets to a certain value. But that's the basics in the difference between those two and how to know if it is an arithmetic or a geometric sequence.